Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Sprout. So, since the last episode, I've done a bit more mining, mainly in the overworld, and I actually came upon something. We're going to check it out at the end of the episode, and I think you guys are going to love it. I know you guys have made some comments about it, a few of you have, in the past few episodes. I did manage to come across one. I'm not going to say what it is just yet, but it is really, really cool. But I did do a bit of mining and stuff like that, a little bit of upgrading around the town, nothing too crazy. I did look at upgrading the builder to a tier 4, or a tier 5, I'm sorry. But it takes prismarine, so we're going to have to go find ourselves a guardian temple in order to continue. Well, actually, I think I can make prismarine. It took like dark prismarine, I think. Prismarine shards, guardian spikes. If we got into actually additions, we could create it, but I'm not going to, due to the fact that I think it'd be more fun to actually have to go out and find the guardian temple. Now down here I've built something, and it's not set in stone exactly, because I kind of have to see what we end up like fully designing this area out like and stuff. But I was kind of looking at it, and at first I had it was more white along the top, but I was looking at it, I was like, something's off. And then I had my girlfriend look at it, and she was like, maybe another color or something. And then I ended up coming up with this. I actually brought out the roof a little bit more too. But this is all pergola. Okay, this stuff is easy to craft, just sticks and wood. Pretty much. The brown you have to color it with cocoa. Or once we get into Botania a little bit farther, we'll be coloring everything with the flowers. But we have a jungle right nearby, so cocoa's not really a problem. But anyways, I haven't added the steps that actually go up to this, but we have this little area right here. And actually, this is going to be our Jaded Amaranthus room. We might get into that today. We'll see. But, yeah. It's just a little... Technically, a Jaded Amaranthus can cover a 9x9, but I did it as a 7x7. And I feel like that's plenty. Every time I've ever done anything with Botania, 9x9 is overkill. It's super overkill. Really, I could go with like a 5x5, and I might very well do that. We'll see. But, yeah. So, anyways, that's just for something that we're going to be working on later for Jaded Amaranthus. And then also, which, like I said, I've still got some cleanup to do and some deciding, because something still feels off about it. I still need to change it. I may make some small adjustments to it moving forward. But anyways, so let me actually drop, I keep forgetting to drop coal onto this. Now over here I dug out a little area and kind of just did living wood plank slabs. I still got to decorate and stuff throughout here, but just kind of getting some mainframe stuff done. And I got this little area built out here. This is going to be a continuation of our Botania stuff, because of course that up there is not going to be enough, you know. Especially once we get into all the automation and stuff that we're going to do, because we're going to do our cobble works through Botania. Kind of like what I did on Quantus, but a little bit further than I got to go on Quantus. And then I've just kind of got some steps here. They're not finished, but just kind of getting an idea, because basically this is going to connect down to the city as well. So that is kind of the plan. Also, on the topic of the city, actually, I did a lot of research and a lot of testing in my test world. Like, even in creative mode, in my test world, I could not place a second town. Okay. Now, there is an option. I haven't fully tested, because there's an option in your save data where it actually says, for mine colonies, it says town hall set true. Okay. Now, if you change that to false, you can actually place a second town hall. But I have to finish kind of testing out to see exactly if there's any negative effects to doing that. So I've got to sit down and mess with that a bit more. But I did test every other possibility I could think of. Now, if that does not work, what we're going to do is we're actually going to bump up the borders for our town up a lot. Because the nice thing is, with this town and where this town's going to be, not being that far away, I could bump up the town borders for this and probably reach over to there, no problem. So, I mean, technically that's an option. We would have to bump it up like an extra, like, fair few hundred radius. So it would also cover like this. But if we did that, I mean, we could always build like a town here on the mountains and maybe build one over here and one over here. Like have a few different towns that we could travel to, because with it being single player, it's only having one town is kind of depressing because like your world doesn't feel as vibrant, which is definitely kind of sad. But yeah, I did get that other lumberjack upgraded. I got the fisherman upgraded. Little things like that. I didn't do as much work on the town because I spent a while testing. I spent a while working on that pergola wall, and then a while mining were my main concerns. Now today, our primary focus is going to be upgrading equipment, not armor really, because really what I want to upgrade armor, like, well, aside from the Botania route, okay, I want one of these super armor frame grab bags, but we cannot trade for these. So I'm assuming that they're only loot from like higher tier dungeons or something like that. I've never seen one before. They're not craftable. They're not buyable. So we're going to have to keep our eyes open for those. It's also possible they could be tied to rep, like citizen rep. I don't know if that unlocks additional trades. Right now we're just neutral. Now there is a repeatable with the monks that we could go do. It's actually this supply run here. Because I did turn this quest in one time. It's just wheat, hay bale, and silk, which silk you can just buy. And he gave me a little bit of money, and then he just gave me the quest again. So I'm assuming that's a repeatable. You do get a little bit of rep from it, so we could rep grind up like that. And I may work on that, maybe move us up past neutral, because I'm curious to see what's after that. But anyways, I think our first goal for today is going to be our runic altar. Alright, this just requires living rock, and then we can either do a mana diamond or a mana pearl. Now, I don't have very many ender pearls. I think I have 2, but I have 56 diamonds, so we're going to go with a diamond. Let me actually get a few of these, because we're going to need them today. Honestly, we're probably going to need ender pearls as well today. I think 2 may be okay. If not, I don't know if there's any way to craft ender pearls within this pack. I know a lot of packs have it. Ender pearl powder, nebulous hearts, blocks of ender pearl. You can smelt dragon's eye to get ender pearl, but that doesn't really help us. I do have tiny piles of ender dust, I think. You got gas tears. That's a little bit farther in, though. Okay. Well, anyways. At least, no, actually the alchemy catalyst isn't that far in, I don't think. Mana pearl. Brewing stands. We could probably pull that off, I think. I should think so, but... Anyways, we're going to get a few mana diamonds here. And then let's get ourselves... Oh, this doesn't actually connect to this. Oh, and of course I did start chisels and bits a little bit, so... Nothing too crazy yet, but the bidding has begun. There's probably going to be a lot of chisels and bits within this series as time goes on. Alright, so we got our runic altar. Very, very easy. And for right now, I'm just going to set it up like right here. Because this stuff, of course, I've actually got to get all this stuff moved probably over to there, I think. Because I think over there is going to be our runic altar, our petal apothecary, some of that stuff. And up here is going to be more automation type stuff, I think. Is kind of my plan at the moment. But we'll see. We shall see as time goes on, but... Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bind that. And now we have our runic altar. Now, technically, I could... Let me see. What does it take to make that chaos stuff? Because I do want to do a little bit more botania today. Takes a little bit of mana, actually. Considering we're going to have to make multiples of these. I don't know. I may just go with additional endo flames for the time being. I have an idea for... Let's see. I think I have... Actually, I think they're over there. I have an idea for how I want to do the Jaded Amaranthus so that we can just make it automatic, self-sufficient, and done. But for this, for increasing mana gen over here, I don't know... Actually, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go for a Gory Malice. Maybe a couple of these. We'll see. So for this, we're going to need Runes of Summer. That's Runes of Air and Earth. Rune of Earth. Mana Powder. Mana Steel. Stone. Block of Coal. And Mushroom. I should have mushrooms lying around. If not, I can pop into the nether. There's a bunch there. So we'll see real quick. I should have upstairs. We have 15. That's not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna get like 4 of those, and then I'm gonna get like a bit of sand, all of our sand. We're also gonna need watermelon and slime balls. How many slime balls do I have? 1. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. I should actually be able to craft slime balls, I think. Oh, slime pearls give us 6 of them. Also cactus. That's the only ways. Okay. Because there is no slime trees or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and just grab a couple of these. There we go, 12 slime pearls. Slime balls. Then we're also going to need some watermelon. That's not really a problem to go grab yet. So I'll go grab that in just a second. Let's see, I've already got stone over there. We're also going to need rune of air, carpet, feather, and string. So there's a stack of string, because we will need that eventually. Feathers, there's a stack of those. There's 2 stacks of those, actually. Okay. And then carpet, do I have them all wool put up over here? Yes, I do. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab like 12 and we'll make 18 pieces of carpet. So that's pretty much everything that we need for the rune of air, minus the mana powder and the mana steel. And I'm just going to grab, I think, how much gunpowder do I have? 30? We'll just grab it all. And then we'll grab iron on our way out. Also, the rune of earth, we're going to need block of coal. We've got that down there. And that's pretty much everything for that. Now, for the rune of fire, that's just nether wart, gunpowder, and nether bricks. And I'm not for sure. I don't think I have nether bricks lying around, but I do have nether rack. I'll just cook that up. And then nether warts. I don't have a lot of it. I'm going to keep 1 to make sure I've got some for growing it. I need to get that stuff being farmed. But we'll go ahead and dump in some netherrack. And actually, while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit more stone. Actually, I don't know why I'm cooking it in these. Those are more for ores than anything. So, and we're actually going to speed these up today as well. So, awesome stuff. Alright, but I've got enough that I can go ahead and get started with this. Oh yeah, let me grab that iron real quick. This zombie has 551 health. It's insanity. And like, he's just a normal difficulty one too. That's what's so strange about it. So let's start off by getting ourselves... Oh, I can't right click to drop with it. There we go. There's 6 pieces of that, and we'll go ahead and get our mana powder as well. Alright, so first up for the rune of fire, we'll go ahead and start with that one, I think. And I think I'm going to make like a couple crafts of this. Actually, I should be able to do that. There we go. So that's going to start running. And then I tell you what, actually it's going to be done in just a moment. I was going to say I'd go get the watermelon right now, but we'll hold off on that for just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and grab some living rock. There we go. There's our runes of fire. I'm going to go ahead and make 1 more craft of these. Just because we are going to need this stuff. Runes are something it never really hurts to have multiples of. We may end up automating these. We'll see as we move forward. Okay, so 4 runes of fire. Now next up, the runes of air. These ones are actually really easy to craft. Probably the cheapest ones, in my opinion. Alright, and 1 more of these, please. And then we're going to need the runes of earth. That's okay. That is just like... No, it's not slime balls. It's, oh, blocks of coal. That's right. And there's 1 of those. And I'm going to go ahead and get a second one running, but I'm not going to stand here and wait for it. I'm going to set out for going to get some watermelons. Oh, actually, probably the quickest way down would be over here. I think this area is going to look good once it's done. I have some really cool ideas, I think, for this area, and I'm really liking it. I like the... It was back on... I think the last time I really did a big outside build like this was Infinity Expert, maybe? It's definitely been a while. And I do quite like the outside builds. It's just for some reason... And I think every series that I've recorded, we've had outside or indoor builds. Well, I take it back. What was the name of that pack? I really enjoyed it, but then it ended up having a really bad bug. I did some BC robots for some stuff, and they ended up bugging out the entire pack. And I got in touch with the mod pack creator and everything, and he got it fixed, but it was... By the time he got it back to me and we got it fixed, or he got it fixed and everything, it was like a few months after it. So it was like, you know, I'd already moved on with like recording a different series and stuff, and it was like, well, it was actually one of the first series that I did. Well, I think the first series that I did, they were very short-lived. They were like 6 episodes, you know, and back when I first started, you know, doing videos and everything, and it was Revolution. Was it Revolution 3? It's the most recent one. No, it's Revolution 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's happening? Power of the watermelons. Oh, there's something down there. Okay, that's plenty of watermelons for what we need it for. But yeah, I think the first packs I did Revolution 2 for like 5 or 6 episodes, and then I also did Pixelmon. So, which I'm actually thinking about at some point, not right now because I have a lot going on, but at some point I plan on going back to Pixelmon and actually doing like a proper series with it, because I do quite like Pixelmon. I have to play it on a server type setting. It's just not as much fun single player. But yeah, actually both of those, when I was recording those, we were both on, both of them were on public servers. So, fun stuff. Looks like that Rune of Earth is done. And now for our last one, we need Runes of Summer. And that is Melon, Slime Ball, and 2 Sand. And then it's also Rune of Earth and Rune of Air. And the Runes of Earth and Air don't actually get consumed, so... Okay, and I believe this needs more coal, it looks like, so let me grab a bit more of this. Honestly, I might end up putting a compacting drawer out here. I really don't want money inside because I don't like the way they look, but I could tuck one away in here, maybe, or, I don't know. Before long, we'll automate all of our mana, so... Just I'm not automating it as I go right this second, and that's because I like the manual. I don't generally do a whole lot of the manual aspect. You know, normally I hit something, I'm like, gotta automate it right now. But, I don't know. I kind of like the whole, like, taking a step back, going a little bit more low-tech for a while. Really long-term, but Botania will be like our tech mod, more or less, for a lot of our stuff anyways. Okay, so we got 2 Runes of Summer. Awesome. And for the Gory Malice, then, we have to do Rune of Summer, Rune of Fire, red petals, 2 yellow petals, 2 light gray petals. And I should have all of those petals in here. I'm going to tuck those away. We don't need those anymore right this second. Don't need any of this stuff. And you know what? Yellow is a color I do not have on flowers. So I'll tell you what, we might go Floral Fertilizer for getting one of those. But light gray... Let's see, I said I needed 2 Gory Malice, so we'll need 2 light grays. We're also going to need 1 red, and then we're going to need our yellows. Okay, so I'll tell you what, let's get ourselves a Mortar and Pestle. I'm playing stick and a bowl. Okay. For some reason I was thinking you need living wood for that. I got that backwards, don't I? Nope. That. Nope. That. Oh my gosh. I don't know how to craft anything. There we go. Pestle and mortar. And honestly, this stuff, I'm just going to tuck it away in here. I don't really need it down here. And then we're going to need to get ourselves 4 dye, four floral dye. So we'll just go with mystical light gray, or mystical gray, I mean, for the time being. There's that. And we get 1 floral fertilizer. No yellow. And this could actually take a minute, so grab a bit of that. Like, I'm missing like 2 colors. There we go, yellow. And actually, I think green's the other one I'm missing, right? I think so. Yes, it was. Okay. So then we can actually start... I need to move all this pergola out of here, I think. But we'll grab our shears. Let's go ahead and break this down into petals. And we'll just plant those down. Bone meal. And shears. Okay. So there's our tall flowers. And then, what I'm only going to need, it was 1 red, and it was 2 light gray. Throw 4 of those petals back. So we're actually ready to make our flowers now. Okay. So we'll go 2 yellow, 2 light gray, 1 red, rune of summer, rune of fire, and then a seed. I get 2 of those. And I guess I could put back 2 of those. There we go. And there we go. 2 Gormialis. Awesome. And we'll go ahead and set these down. I think I'm going to make another mana spreader, actually. And have the Gormialis feeding it, because chances are I'll probably be running both of these right now, since it's all kind of manual stuff. And we'll just set this one up. It's a mess right now. We'll set this one up right here. We're going to go ahead and bind it to that. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to upgrade our food, okay? Because we're at the point now, bread, all well and good, and we are going to go for glowing bread, okay? You'll notice it feeds a lot of hunger. Basically, it's just 3 bread with some of this glowing water. It's going to get you 3 pieces. Glowing water is crafted just like this. Not very expensive. Now that we have access to the nether, we have glowstone, nether wart. Actually, I've got enough right here. I'll make like 3 batches. 2 batches, 3 batches. Yeah, we're going to make 3 batches of it. Gunpowder. And then we just have to go get glowstone, pretty much, and glass panes. So we are going to need 15 glass panes. I actually don't have that many on me at the moment. But I bet you there's some down, either that or glass, down here inside the town warehouse. What in the world is this? Look at this! She keeps saying she's hungry and she can't work. Or she's not that productive anymore. What in the world happened to her? Okay, I'm just going to leave that alone for the time being. There's no reason that we should have so many fishermen. That's a bug. Like, there shouldn't be like 80 billion fishermen for... Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, I'm just going to have to get some sand from down here. I forgot to grab some, and I'm just going to cook it up on the spot. I'm actually just going to take the express elevator down. Okay, and that glowing water, we are going to need a bucket of water for this. There's the rest of our glass panes. But this is going to make a lot of glowing bread. And then, of course, I'm probably, for right now, I'm probably just going to use the glowing bread for this. I don't mind eating bread, honestly. It's not really a big concern. There we go. 45 glowing bread, and we get condensed potion vials. And for right now, I'm just going to throw that in here. There are some uses for that. Okay, so the Gormialis, we'll set that there, and we'll go ahead and feed each of those. Did you really not eat that? Yeah, funny story, one mana spreader is not going to be nearly enough. It cannot handle that at all. So let's get one more real quick. And we're going to bind that other one to another mana spreader. And there we go. So they're both enjoying a bunch of mana. And this is actually pretty easy to feed. That glowing water is not actually that expensive, so. Aha! Okay. Anyways, moving on. What we actually needed the mana for is some upgrades. I think first up we are going to go with just some botania equipment, and then we're going to switch over to silent gems and do a bit with that, and then we're going to go check out that new thing I discovered. So let's take a look here. I think I'm going to go with pretty much my standard, let's see, standard stuff, I think. Yeah, I think first up I'm going to want a ring of magnetization. This is, of course, fairly easy to craft. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a bit of mana steel. And then we're also going to need 1 gold and 1 iron. 1 glass pane. We'll get... There's that. There's that. And there's our ring. So now we have a magnet ring, which is nice. Then I also want a band of mana. This just requires a mana tablet. Actually, I may just make... Let's see. I might just make a mana tablet, actually. That way I can wear the ring of magnetization and the band of aura. So yeah, we'll probably just go with the mana tablet and then make the band of aura. This requires a rune of mana. It does require a mana pearl. I did not bring those ender pearls with me. No, I did not. So let me pop up there. We're going to get... I'll probably just bring both of the mana or the ender pearls that I have down. This will be the place where I'd probably use them first. I imagine. Because, of course, I'm trying to limit, like, what mods I use at what time. Not really specifically the mods, but the stuff from the mods. But power generation is something that'll be later down the road. Like, you know, I don't want to start actually additions, but I did get an AIoT. That's not so far into the future, especially when I salvage the emeritic crystals. Not really a problem, but we'll go ahead and just convert both of those. And so for the rune of mana, I'm actually going to need a bit more mana steel here. It is a mana pearl and 5 mana steel. And by the way, the difficulty has like super slowed down as far as going up once I hit 5. Like earlier, it kind of like, it's weird because it kind of like trickled into the 6th one and then it went back. And I didn't die or anything. I haven't died in a while. Of course, I didn't really explore anything since the last episode either, but there we go, Band of Aura. And let's go ahead and throw on our Band of Aura and our Ring of Magnetization. And now whenever we move around, our mana tablet will start getting mana built up in it. You can see there's a little bit of a blue bar there. The Band of Mana holds mana too, but since we're going to probably be wearing the Ring of Magnetization within this pack, at least for a bit, we're going to go ahead and just make that. Okay, now I could also make the Sojourner Sash. I don't really feel that that's necessary. I mean, I have the stuff made for it, but the main things it does is it uses mana for like step up and higher jump and speed, which I feel like we have all of those at our disposal as is. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to worry about that too much at the moment. Okay, now the fun actually begins. We're going to start Silence Gems proper. This is going to be pretty much where we go with equipment, right? And probably from here on out, I mean, it makes some of the best weapons. Like, it's comparable in some aspects to Tinker's Constructs, but honestly, at least in my personal opinion, and as you'll see, there's a lot of really nice things about it. I feel like it's better than Tinker's Constructs. It's like the next step forward with Tinker's Construct. And very, very balanced as well. I mean, it is powerful, but it is, at the same time, I feel like it's fairly balanced. Now, the first thing that I'm going to want to get is a material grader, I think. This requires magnifying glass, that's cheap. Enriched chaos, this is where we need the runic altar. Or this is one part that we need the runic altar for. So this requires chaos essence, redstone, and glowstone. I've got all of that right here. And I can only assume that we're also going to need living rock. So we'll just pop on down here. Let me grab a bit of that. And we're going to start with going for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's going to start running. How much is this going to take? This is actually going to take a little while, considering I need a few of these. But we're going to need 3 to get started. And then we're also going to need ornate gold rod, which requires chaos essence, just standard. And you're going to get 8 of those. We're going to use those for other things, though, so it is nice to have those. Man, these are going to take a little while on mana. Goodbye. Oh, goodbye. Okay, man, this is gonna take a couple seconds here. I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this gold out of here. I can bring more over. We'll go ahead and start piecing together some of this stuff. There's our ornate gold rods. And then there's our magnifying glass. Awesome. There's one of those. Yeah, we're going to need a few of these today. Just a couple. Considering, really, I'm going to want to make passive chaos pylons. There's also burner pylons, which are good. But I think I'd rather go with a large quantity of passive ones than burner ones. Of course, if you set up next to a chaos node, that kind of solves your issue. But I'm not set up right next to a chaos node, so I don't know if we'll get into passive and burner pylons just yet, but we might. There's number 2. Okay, and that third one's running. Now, we're also going to have to supercharge gems, right? Because we're going to want to make equipment. And I'm going straight for the supercharged equipment. Actually, there's a book on silence gems. I got this from a book bag. I believe you can craft it. Let me see. It's this book right here, Silence Gem Manual. I'm pretty sure you can actually just craft this together with any gem. It doesn't have to be supercharged. I think it's just going through the supercharged right now. But like I said, you can also get these from book bags. This is where I got mine from. So while that's running, while it's making our third and not final enriched chaos essence, let's pop down here. And I tell you what, I'm actually going to need to run a bit more of this chaos essence. I'm going to go ahead and just smelt up like 4 stacks. Because realistically, we're going to need a lot of this stuff. Not quite that much, but we're going to need a lot of it. But anyways, there is a book right here, Silence Gems Manual. I'm not going to read through this and all that, but basically if you open this up, you can see information on all the tools, all the items, the blocks, the enchantments. It's very, very detailed. And it is worth a look if you're not familiar with Silence Gems, as I wasn't whenever I started, but I have been playing a lot with it in my test world and messing about with it. Absolutely love the mod. I'm a big fan of Tinker's Constructs, for the most part. I mean, I think there's better options, but I do like Tinker's Constructs. However, I like Silence Gems 100 times more easy. So, go ahead and throw that down. Let's go ahead and get some more of this being made, because we're going to need it. Okay. I feel like I need a quicker way up and down right now, because we're going to be making a lot of that stuff. And then the same thing with the supercharged gems. But, yeah, anyways, you can have a read through that. Basically, tool creation, like, for example, if you take a look at a sword, you have 2 different gem slots here and a stick. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be 2 of the same gems. You can actually mix and match. So, for example, let's grab ourselves, say, a malachite, and we're also going to grab a turquoise. And if I was to take and stick these together on a stick, let me go grab one. Okay, so if I took a stick and I stuck malachite and turquoise together, I've made a malachite turquoise sword. Okay, Now, normal Malachite sword, for example, has a 16.64 DPS, 8 attack damage, 2.08 attack speed. This one has a 1402 DPS. Because basically what it does is it takes the values for each of these. And if you hold control, you can see your base harvest speed, your harvest level, your attack speed, melee damage, magic damage, protection, durability, charge speed, and enchantability. You can see all of those. So basically what it's doing is it's creating kind of putting them together and saying, like, this is the average qualities. For example, Malachite has, you'll see it has good attack damage, but it has very low durability, only 128 durability. Whereas this sword right here has 206. Alright. So what you can do is you can kind of mix and match and create kind of your ideal weapon. Now looking through here is very, very useful if you're looking for a specific weapon, but bear in mind that you can mix and match those gems and create possibly better combinations depending on what you're going for. So just a heads up on that. Now Malachite, I will say that Malachite is the highest melee damage gem that there is. So if you're wanting something that's really high melee damage, that is your go-to. Just bear in mind that it has high melee damage, also has very high attack speed, so it comes out with probably the highest DPS. Now there is higher straight melee damage gems. However, they don't have quite the DPS due to lower attack speed on those. So, oh, I dumped everything in there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now can't keep an eye on this. I need that running like constantly from here on out. And how are we doing on mana? Actually, not very good. Let me feed this just really quickly. Now, one thing to note about Silence Gems is it's not like Tinker's Construct. I can't just make a weapon best I can make right out the gate. There's a lot that goes into these weapons, a lot. And it's something that we're going to slowly evolve and get better, better versions of even the same weapon as time goes on, because there's multiple things that we're going to have to take into account when we're going for best in slot, quote unquote. And I do want to get really high tier weapons over time, but it is something that's going to take a bit. Okay, so first up, what we are going to do is let's get that material grater that I mentioned. Oh, we're going to need iron for this. I must have dumped all my iron out. Let me go grab that. Okay. Oh, and gold as well. Let me grab a stack. Or all of that we've got. So there's our material grater. Now this requires chaos essence in order to actually run. And we're also going to need the gems that it's going to grade. Okay. Now I will say that regardless of what grade it gets, it's always going to be better than an ungraded gem. So I would suggest before you even, if you get to the point where you can make the enriched chaos essence, you might as well go ahead and go for grading first thing before you even make anything, in my personal opinion. So alright, now let's let this run. Let's get one more essence. Okay, luckily doing the gems is a little bit cheaper than making this chaos essence. So now I could go out into the world and find a chaos node. I know we've got some semi near our house, but I think the closest one I marked though is pretty far off. So I think we're just going to go for a passive node because this will be number 4. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and start supercharging some gems. I'm going to start with Malachite. It takes 2 of the gem, 6 chaos essence, and a glowstone dust. So we'll go ahead and get that running. And then what I'm going to want to do, let me go get some quartz real quick. And we're going to make ourselves our first passive gem. Now we're probably going to upgrade, I think, to burning ones. Passive ones would be nice if we had a lot of them, but we don't have a lot of them. However, it's going to take, altogether, if I want to go straight for a burning one, it's going to take 8 enriched chaos essence. Very, very expensive. And I don't quite have the resources for that at the moment. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves a block of quartz, and then we're going to surround this with enriched chaos essence and get ourselves a chaos core. And for the passive chaos pylon, it's 4 obsidian and 4 lapis. So we'll go ahead and get that. And our obsidian, gonna need more of that. Luckily there's some right underneath the town center, so we'll just head down in that direction. I'm gonna see if this gym is done. And over time we're gonna be upgrading all of our tools. Now our tools aren't as bad to make, I don't feel like. You can pretty much, if you're patient, you can get the stuff that you actually want. And glowstone, go. And honestly, with all of our haste, we don't have to go for like super crazy grade or anything like that on our tools. Basically, as long as, you know, the harvest speed is going to be there, we're going to have no problem with that. Okay, so we got that. Let's go ahead and now start up a black diamond. Get that running. And let me go ahead and feed these. And now we can get ourselves our first passive chaos pylon. So there we go. I know it has the missing texture thing, and it's not actually missing a texture once you place it down, but it just shows it as being so. And I think for right now, I don't have a permanent place decided where I'm going to set up our silence gems, because we're going to want a bunch of chaos nodes and stuff like that set up. But I think we're going to set it up right now for right here. Okay, and then we'll put our material grader right beneath that. And then what we can do is we can throw our supercharged malachite into here. And this is going to take a while, okay? These 4 are output slots. This is just input. And you can actually pump in items from the top and pump out the bottom. But the different grades, graded gems don't really stack. So that's why there's multiple output slots. Now you notice it's sending chaos orbs down to this. But it is very, very slow. Even running, like in my creative world, I have a bunch of chaos nodes set up, like the actual, like, straight up node. Feeding into one of these, it still takes a while. So it's not the fastest thing in the world. But we're going to upgrade that in just a moment. We're going to need some more of that chaos essence, though. There we go. There's a black diamond. Now we're going to go for 4 more of that enriched chaos stuff, and we're going to work our way towards a burner chaos pylon. This is basically an upgraded version, but it's going to require 4 more of those. And I've got the obsidian that I need, so we're set on that. And let's see how this is going. Probably not so great. Yeah, see, it's got a little bitty sliver of going through the first gem. Alright, very, very slow process. But basically the reason we want to do that is because it's actually going to make the gems a little bit better and can actually make them very, very powerful if given enough time. So now there's also a lot of other nice things like the holding gems. We're going to get into this stuff. It's going to be a work in progress getting our different tools, because for tools I'm probably going to want a sickle, which is very, very powerful harvesting. You can harvest a larger area. The hoes can hoe a large, like a 3x3. You've got the paxels. I may not go for a paxel because the specialized tools are much better. Also the axes. Honestly, I might get an axe in a minute. I'm going to need more malachite, I guess. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Basically, I'm looking at harvest speed. Heliodor is not bad. It has a harvest speed of 16 and decent durability. I think malachite's actually lower harvest speed. Which you will be, if you start messing with silence gems, you're going to spend a long time looking through this stuff here. Just kind of comes with the territory. And I think we're actually going to go with Heliodor for this. There's one of those. And the axes require 3 gems. So let me pop back upstairs. Yeah, it's going to be such a waiting game at this point. Actually, the tools and stuff, I'll be waiting all day, actually, to try to grade all this stuff. It's going to take a long time. But luckily, we'll get our burner gem before too long. So that's going to help a lot. Let's see how this is going. We're getting there. we're getting towards our first graded gem. Now, I will say that outside of this mod pack, making this this enriched chaos essence is a bit easier. But within this pack, it is a little bit expensive. Honestly, I might want a chaos gem, but we'll probably wait on this. These are very expensive, as you can tell. But with these, you can actually add these runes to them, and basically you charge these chaos gems up with chaos essence, and you can do that with the, which we're not really going to get into that this episode, I don't think. Don't have the materials, but the chaos altar right here. If you have this, you can actually put items in it and charge them with chaos essence from your pylons. And then these, you can attach runes to them. And you can even get flight very, very easily. Oh, no, it's currently unavailable. Okay. I was looking at it in my test world, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cheap. We can get fly right now. We will get into this probably next episode. Next episode, we're going to do a lot more with Silence Gems. I just need some time to build up some of this chaos essence and stuff. And it's not terribly cheap. Okay, but we got our 4 enriched. Steadily getting there. Let me grab that, and we're going to go ahead and upgrade this. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and snag this furnace, I guess. And we're going to need 2 blocks of redstone. And I'm actually going to need 1 more block of quartz, so let me go grab that. And we're going to upgrade to burner pylons. These are a bit faster. They do require some kind of combustible fuel. And they're not my long-term plan. My long-term plan is just to use passive ones, like a large quantity of them. But for getting started, this is going to help out a bit. So there's our block of quartz. There's 1 more enriched chaos core. And then we'll get our burner chaos pylon. Creates chaos from furnace fuel at a high speed. And let me get another stack of coal for this. But there's also the chaos orbs. We might make one of those right now. I don't know. I don't see myself having excess chaos at the moment, due to the fact that I'm going to be grading a lot of gems. Let me go ahead. Get that running. I think we're going to have to automate mana in the next, episode or 2. But we can set our burner chaos pylon right here. You'll notice it's red instead of blue. And what we can do is we can throw coal into this. And it's going to start burning away. And it's going to be a bit faster. Of course, it does have to consume that coal. But you'll notice it's actually jumping up a bit faster now. Every time it bursts with this one, it actually moves that completion bar. And you can use, you can use additional pylons. Like I could have some passive ones thrown in there. I could have multiple burners going. And we will get to that before too long. But you'll notice, the coal, it's fairly efficient with this. Okay, now we should probably, yep, we got our first grade. We got a C grade, which isn't very good. Because it goes like D, C, B, A. I've never seen like an S or anything like that, personally. It's not to say that it's not there, but you'll notice the base harvest speed on this one is 12. This one is 12.72. Attack speed is 159%. It used to be 150. It goes from 7 melee damage to 7.42. Magic damage from 5 to 5.3. Protection from 18 to 19.08. Durability 512 to 542. Charge speed 3 to 3.18. Hello. And then the enchantability went up as well. So, very, very nice. It's basically free. It doesn't take any more gems, really. It just takes a little bit of time to get those graded. So, technically, if you wanted to make the best possible tool that you could make, it would be like, you'd want A grade gems, right? So that's there. Right there is one reason that you might have to make additional tools, and you can't regrade them. So there's really, if you've got the stuff and it's graded, go ahead and use it for something, But also within this pack, of course, we have to take account the rarity, because you can get common, you can get basic, you can get uncommon. rare, archaic, and each of those, you know, is better than the previous tier. So that's another thing that we're going to have to take into consideration when we make these, because we might make it and it be just a common piece of junk. This first one that we're going to make, it's not going to be top tier gems, so it's not going to be a huge loss if it does come out like with really bad grades. A ranks. Oh, we got an A rank. There we go. And that's a 13.44 base harvest speed. I mean, you can look here and you can see there's a decent jump between these numbers. Between the C and the A rank. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw in that supercharged black diamond. And by the way, that yellow that builds up, that is charge that has built up in this. Okay, so it can build up charge within that, even if nothing's in there. And then whenever you throw something in there, it's going to power through whatever you're making. I am out of Chaos Essence at the moment. I'm actually probably going to make another supercharged Malachite. Just because my A rank gems, I'd rather save those for like a better piece. This first weapon, it's not going to be top of the line. So, I think today we're going to go for a katana. I love katanas. They are amazing. And they are a lot of fun as well. Let's see. Let's grab like another stack of Chaos Essence here. And I'm also going to want another stack of redstone, which I have tons of redstone. 24 stacks in there right now. So, and I will say that the cool aspect of Silence Gems is not even over yet. There's more coming up in just a moment. I think that's really what I needed. Oh yeah, Malachite. Because now we can actually grade gems a bit better, like a bit quicker. This is still a very time-consuming process just to make one tool, right? And of course, this pack makes it even more so. But you know, since you have to use something like that to actually grade these, I mean to make these, we've got a grade B supercharged black diamond. So that's not too bad. I don't mind using that when it's not an A rank. The A rank ones I'd rather kind of hold on to at the moment, and then save those for a bit better tool. Because this first one is going to be replaced before long, but. Watch us get like archaic tier or something. It'd be great. We'll go ahead and get another one of those running, those black diamonds. Okay, I'm getting like a bunch of like really big lag spikes all of a sudden, so I may have to relog. Yeah, I think I'm gonna relog real quick. Okay, that seems to fix the problem. So I'm just kind of loading all this stuff back up. So we got another black diamond. I'm going to go ahead and get that one being researched, graded. Oh yeah, we got that Malachite too. That's going to pull, as you can tell, I mean, it's pulling all the chaos that's built up within this. It's going to steadily run through. This thing actually stores a bit of chaos. So you'll notice that one gold bar is probably going to research this entire gem. So a full bar, it's going to be quite a bit. We got a grade E. I've never even seen an E. That's so bad. I'm imagining that's still better. That's attack speed 150%. Yeah, it's still a little bit better than the standard ones, though. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and pull out our E rank. Let's go ahead and grab our C rank, and we'll grab this B ranked black diamond. Okay, because we're going to make our first actual tool with this now. Let me go ahead and grab this. I want to keep this thing running like at all times. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these ornate gold tool rods. And then we are going to take our supercharged malachite. Put that there. Another one there. That'll make a sword if we wanted a sword, but we want a katana. So then we're going to put another one right here. And you can actually change these around. Like say I wanted to do that. Now we have black kind of on the handles and a full green blade. This is actually the style that I like. You can actually switch these around and have kind of a black blade. But I actually like this one a bit. And you can see that if we look at the standard, like if you had made this all out of supercharged malachite, right? Do that. It would normally have a 29.83 DPS. 27 attack speed, 11.05 attack damage. The durability would only be 441. Ours has 1354 durability, 31.61 DPS. I mean, you can see that between the scanning and mixing the gems a little bit, that's the reason I'm using Black Diamond. It actually has the highest durability of any tool, and actually has about a mid-range as far as damage and everything goes. So I threw that one Black Diamond on there, and I got like triple the durability on this thing, as if I just went pure malachite. Now you can mix and match these with any gem, as long as they're the same tier. Like, for example, I couldn't put like a standard malachite in here. I couldn't just throw that in there. It's going to have to be supercharged, but I could use any type of supercharged gem to make this. So it's something that you kind of want to play around with. I spent a while playing around in my test world. I really, really like that for damage dealing weapons. Which we'll use different things depending on what we're doing as well. But let's go ahead and craft this thing. We got a rare version. That's actually not too bad. A rare katana. Now, we can run around, we can swing this. Let me actually drop my haste down a little bit so you can see it. Okay. So we can swing this. And I love the sound effects on it. But also, if you shift and left click, you'll notice it shoots out some stuff. Alright? And if I shoot them up in the air, you'll notice they bounce. Basically, that is magical attack. Okay? Pretty much the majority, that's one thing I love about this, is the majority of things that you encounter with Silence Gems have magical attacks. That's why everything has a magic damage listed there. The sword actually has the same magical attack as the katana. But really quickly, I'll tell you all the different things here. The shield doesn't have like any kind of special, but if the shield has high melee damage and you block with it, it actually has an innate thorns effect. So it can actually reflect physical damage back at the enemies. Swords have the same magical attack as the katana. The difference between the katana and the katana can only be made with supercharged, whereas the sword can be made with any tier, you know. But also the katana is a lot faster. Generally it has lower damage output, but it's a lot faster, so generally the DPS is going to be higher than with a sword. Daggers don't have a special, but they're just really, really fast attacking weapons. Katanas we've already covered. Scepters are just magical tools, so you're going to use the magic attack, which is shift left click, and they actually shoot out a really, really powerful homing blast of magic orbs. It's like 3 of them per attack, and they're actually going to home in and attack the enemy with that. The tomahawk, we're going to make one of these next episode, but they are thrown axes. You can actually use them for like melee attacking and cutting wood. It's just not very effective. But what you do is you kind of charge them back, you know, and you throw them, and they're a thrown melee weapon. They're awesome. Bows are pretty standard, but there are pretty good bows. We will probably make a bow. Tomahawks are a little bit more short range, whereas bows are a little bit more long range. Tomahawks are comparable to like the shurikens from Tinker's Constructs. Not quite as fast, but they're a lot more powerful than a shuriken. Your picks, if you use the special on the picks or the shovels or the hoes, any of those kind of tools, you actually do a 3x3 if they are supercharged only. If you do like a standard pick, it's not going to do a 3x3 effect, but the supercharged ones, also the magical attacks are only supercharged as well. So, but it's going to be 3x3 mining. Paxels are basically just all the tools. They're a little bit more durable than standard tools and stuff. And they can only be made with supercharged. Axes actually have lumbering. So if you cut down a tree, you cut down the entire tree. So really, really cool. The scythes, actually, if you, I think it's shift left click and you harvest a 3x3 and like of crops, and it actually doesn't break the crop. So if you harvest wheat, it keeps it all planted. And then, of course, you have armor here as well, which we'll get into all of that. Now, in addition, we can actually upgrade this tool even further by a couple different means. First up, if we go... Let's see. We got a grade A black diamond. Awesome. And I'm not going to worry about grading another gem for this because this tool is going to be replaced by next episode. Okay, this is just something so that we have a good tool. But now we're going to start min-maxing it a little bit and trying to get good gems and good rarity. Because rare, and it's not bad, but we can get higher rarities on that. And that's what I'm going to go for. But let's grab like another malachite. Oh, that's turquoise. Grab another malachite. And what we can do is we can actually take this and apply it to the sword. So right now it's 31.61. Now it's a 32.66 DPS. You can do that one time. Like for now if I was to grab, say, another malachite and I went to apply it to this. Now I can apply it, but it's not going to increase the stats on it at all. So you could do that, get a little bit of a DPS jump if you want. Now in addition, you can also add tips to it. And each of these tips, you'll notice they raise harvest level only if it's lower than that harvest level. So that's a 3 harvest level. If you had something lower than a 3, it would upgrade to 3. But you'll also see they add durability, harvest speed, melee damage, and magic damage. That is straight added effect. You can only have one tip equipped. Now the top tier are Emerald and Diamond. Emerald is higher magic damage and durability. Diamond is more melee damage than Emerald. So we are going to go with a Diamond tip. You just need one of these upgrade bases. These are very, very cheap. Sticks, wood, and flint. So let's grab that stuff. There we go. Upgrade bases. And then all it takes is one diamond with an upgrade base, and you're done. Okay, so there's that. We get our diamond tipped upgrade. Then we just apply it to this katana. It was 32.66. Now it is, there we go, 38.26. So you'll notice a huge DPS jump. That is due to the fact that melee damage on a katana, due to the attack speed, makes a huge difference. Okay, and malachite is actually the highest attack speed and highest melee damage, so it becomes like a crazy damage katana. And you'll notice that the DPS on this is 21. Now this is almost 40. And with, you know, a good combination, I'm gonna put this into here. With a better combination of scan gems, maybe like all A's, this would be over 40 DPS. Okay, so kind of what I want to go for is full A ranks gems on a tool. Also good rarity. You know, right now it's rare. That's actually not bad, but I'd like to get a full A rank scan gem set. There might even be S rank. It may just be super uncommon. If so, we will go for that. It's just going to take a while. But we'll kind of see how it goes. We shall see. And if we can find those super armor frames, we could make those as well. Now, I kind of want to make a chaos orb. I think right now we would probably go with the fragile. Let's try this thing out, actually. This is going to be fun. See, that's what the magic damage. It's kind of like a ranged attack. Now, you notice that white bar above me? That's a cooldown. So, that's a lot of damage. Basically, anytime you use a magical attack, it is going to have a cooldown tied in with it. And, oh, actually, I'm out of mana. Awesome. Oh, my gosh. But, for example, like with the katana, you'll notice now I can't shoot any more magic attacks. Okay, so I have to wait for that cooldown to kind of refresh. Actually, it's chaos, isn't it? I'm going to need more chaos essence. I'm going to have to go stand next to this guy. Yeah, there we go. I had to get a chaos burst. It's basically it's kind of like a cooldown. Like you'll notice it doesn't immediately refresh me, and the same thing if you have like a chaos carrying item, it's not going to instantly refresh you. But it also requires chaos essence for it to fill back up. So what we're going to do just really, really quickly is we're going to make ourselves a chaos carrying device. Okay. Let me put that down. I'm going to give that a break for just a minute. Honestly, I could go for the refined chaos orb. The only thing is the break chance is still there. Basically, to get the unbreakable one, we're going to have to get Ender Essence. We're going to have to go to the end for that. Let's do this. And there's also a lot more stuff. There's teleporters, there's lights, there's all kinds of stuff within this mod that we'll get into over the next few episodes. Because now we can actually really start getting into this. Do I have I need diamonds. Okay, let me actually head up here. And we're going to get this made. I think we've got everything that we need from down there to make this. Alright, it's about to get even cooler, though. And then we're going to go check out, just really quickly, we're going to go check out that that thing that I found and see what we can do with it. Alright, so there's our Chaos Altar. And then for the Chaos Carrying Device, I think we're just going to go with the... We're not going to go with the potato, but we're going to go with the Fragile Chaos Orb. Just Chaos Essence with diamonds. It's really, really cheap. Anything higher than that... I mean, the break chance gets better, but also the cost increases. And I'm not ready to dump all my enriched Chaos Essence into one of those right now. Because that would be 4 of those. I mean, it is only a 5% chance to break. I think I'm just going to stick with this tier just in case something happens to it. Okay. So we're going to set our Chaos Altar down right here. And then what we can do is we can throw in, say, our Fragile Chaos Orb. Right there, and it's going to feed that bursts. So every burst is like 10,000. So it's really not going to take it very long to charge that up. And that's max break chance. I believe, I'm not 100% sure how the break chance changes. I think as the chaos drops, it increases. And there we go. We have a fully charged one. Then what we can do, you'll see that this is recharge items set to on. And so now if I was to attack with that, well, that's trying to send me a burst right now, but anyways, it would recharge that, okay, after a short duration. So anyways, let's head on down. I know we're getting fairly close to wrapping up point. Not 100% sure on the time on the video, but we're going to head down into the mines and go check out something that I came across while mining. And you actually get to see one of my super mining tunnels, because like with this AIoT, I just fly through mining, right? But I'm trying to make sure that we have plenty of resources for episodes and everything. I believe it's this pathway. 200, almost 300 blocks in this direction is what we're going for. And honestly, I would like to have a tomahawk before we go check this out, but it's not going to happen. And I probably should have repaired my iron helmet, but I didn't. But yeah, probably next episode we're going to get into a bit more stuff with that. New tools. Also the teleports. I would like to have the return home charm because it's super nice. But basically while I was digging, I came across charred cobblestone. And I know you guys have mentioned in your comments about this. I did manage to find one. Didn't really go out of my way to find one. Just kind of came upon it. Now you notice there's emeralds and diamonds that spawn all up in this. Also iron, looks like. Oh, my inventory's terrible. Let me fix this real quick. Gold. I don't know where the actual entrance is going to be. I just know that this is a telltale sign of what's to come. But a lot of resources in this area. Like, this is where, if you want a lot of diamonds and emeralds, this is where you can go for them. Okay, it looks like a fire dragon that we've got. Alright, you ready for this? We're going to try this. He's sleeping at the moment. There we go. Overkill achievement. Oh, guess what? Just so happens we have fire protection. Ha 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 ha. We got the hiccup achievements. Actually wasn't bad because he can't fly away in here really. But we're just going to keep right clicking on him and we'll harvest him down. We got a bunch of dragon bones, dragon skulls, dragon scales, they're bronze, and fire dragon heart, fire dragon flesh. Okay. Alrighty, we killed our first dragons. And we got a bunch of XP from that too, so there's also that. Let's go ahead and light this area up a little bit. There's a bunch of chests in this place. Actually wasn't too bad with that new weapon and fire resistance. It's just like, whatever. We're just going to beat you down here. Okay, what do we got? Bottles of enchanting, iron. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and break those just so I know which ones I've looted. Gold nuggets. I will take everything, all the things. Ooh, diamonds. And manuscripts, which we'll get into those probably in the next couple episodes. I've just been kind of holding off on it. Kind of taking it through like a a theoretically logical approach to things. I don't think dragon hunting is something that we do at the beginning of the game, but we've reached that point. We're gearing up. Now we can become official dragon hunters. So I'm having a bit of fun with this series, if you couldn't tell. Like, honestly, this is, as far as packs go, this is my favorite pack. It has beaten out Craft of the Titans. I like Craft of the Titans, but I love this pack. I absolutely love this pack. And so much fun. There's all kinds of stuff in it. And to think this, well, I was going to say this guy was sleeping like right beneath our base, but really it's like 300 blocks out from under our base. Like if we take a look at the map right now, yeah, we're like closer to the desert town than our town. Looks like mainly a bunch of gold, emeralds, diamonds, and bottles of enchanting. Nothing too crazy in these, but not bad, considering we just killed our very first dragon. Oh no, difficulty actually just jumped. I don't know if it just did that, because I've been watching that, like, because I was like working on that little like gazebo thing, and I was like, I gotta watch this because I don't want the difficulty to jump up too high on me. It just stopped moving. Just stopped moving entirely. Man, there's so many chests in this. And of course, all these piles of gold, we could make gold nuggets out of them. And there's actually chests up on the walls too. Books. I mean, I guess I can start making emerald upgrades. That's an option. What's this? Because I didn't come in this way. Ferrous Rotnut. Really? What? This is another boss from Migsy's mods. Or mobs. Mousy's mobs. That's what it is. Oh, shoot. Oh, do I have to... Maybe I have to pull the... How do I... What do I do with this thing? No. No. I bet that would hurt if you get hit by it. Okay, maybe put the shield up, perhaps? Where did I hit? Maybe it has to be my hand, like I'm trying to pull it out or something. I love Mousy's mobs. Like, this is the most, like, unique stuff ever. Aha! Okay, it seems like we just have to get behind him and counterattack that attack. I wonder if, is there any way to do, like, more than one damage a hit on him? Like, maybe not just punch him? Oh yeah, there we go, 25. Okay. I wasn't sure if maybe like I'm acting like I'm pulling the blade out of his back or something. It's funny because he spawned like right on top of this dragon, and then there's like an actually additions thing. That's the only time to hurt him, it looks like, is when he swings down, by the way. But I love that mod. Like, mobs are so unique in it. We got a Axe of 1,000 Metals. It never breaks. Right click to attack in an arc. DPS isn't too great on it, but what if I didn't have like a billion? Oh, Rot Helm never breaks and gives you 2 armor when it's on your head. Oh, my helmet broke. Are you serious? Well, that's okay. I got this one. Best armor set ever right here. Okay, let me pull off all this haste real quick. Oh, that's what it looks like whenever you're attacking an arc. Oh man, that is cool. That is so cool. I mean, we just got our new weapon, so I don't think we're going to use it. But even still, that is an awesome piece of equipment, maybe to display or something in our house. Because we have those display stands. Hey, I don't want none of that. I don't want any of that. Look at all the emeralds. That's just crazy. Piles of gold for days. Okay, but I think with that, I think it's about wrapping up point. I feel like we got a lot done, right? We have this new katana. Next episode, we're going to continue on with silence gems a bunch. There's a lot of stuff that I want to get from that mod. You know, I want to have katanas that we can use. Well, I mean, we've got one, but, you know, katana that we can use. We'll have, like, a scepter so we can cast spells. We'll have buffs from the chaos gems. We're going to have, like, tomahawks that we can go in and throw. We're going to have maybe a bow. You know, I want to do a bunch with that. There's a lot of really cool weapons. Maybe a dagger we can get in there and attack really, really quickly. You know, just a big variety of stuff. Honestly, that is useful, especially in certain situations, like in tunnels or something like that. But and bear in mind that this can level, so we can put, you know, all the buffs that are it's not here, all these buffs as well on it. So we could have a really crazy weapon, supercharged malachite black diamond katana. Yeah, so we're gonna have a bit of fun with silence gems now that we're at the point where we can supercharge. So. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. Between this episode and next, I'm going to work on walls at long last for our town. Honestly, next episode we might actually start the desert town as well. I should have everything sorted by then and figure out a way that we're going to handle that moving forward. Now, so next episode we'll continue on with some of the stuff that we were working on this episode, silence gems. Maybe go back to the nether for a bit, work on some botania stuff, things like that. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time.